Dear viewers, a place where the ground boils at 50 degrees Celsius, a cliff where the last 4 families living there still refuse to come down, a lake that turns birds into stone. These are not scenes from another planet, but all of these exist right here on our Earth, and people call them home. Over the next 23 minutes, we will journey through 14 such places, each of which is still called home by someone. These are the most impossible places on Earth to live, the mysterious wonders of nature that the world does not talk about, where beauty and death are inseparable. Just imagine standing in a crater 120 meters below sea level. Here, the ground glows in acid lime yellow and bone white colors. Sulfur pools boil like a witch's cauldron. Chlorine gas rises like silver clouds. This is the Danakil Depression, located in northeastern Ethiopia, which is the hottest place on Earth to be inhabited year-round, where surface temperatures often exceed 50 degrees Celsius. NASA scientists study Danakil because, in order to survive in these acidic pools, the microorganisms that thrive there could provide clues as to what life might look like on Jupiter's icy moon, Europa. This is also the same region where the 2-million-year-old fossilized skeleton of Lucy, an ancestor of humans, was discovered in 1974. Life began here, and it seems this is also where it ends. In a few million years, this place won't even exist, as geologists call it the birthplace of a future ocean, where Africa is tearing itself apart. And yet, life does not cease. The Afar people have been living in this place for over 2,000 years. Crossing it, every morning, a salt caravan departs from the village of Ahmed Ila. Men dressed in white cotton clothes and their donkeys walk across the blindingly white plains of Lake Asale, cutting slabs of salt with their own hands under a sun that never relents. In the old Ethiopian Empire, these slabs were used as currency itself, traded in the highlands, and were known as amole. Just a short distance from the sulfur springs, in Dalol, a child drinks water from a vessel made of goat skin. 100 kilometers from here, Erta Alaid is one of the few permanent lava lakes on this planet that boils in shades of red beneath the stars. You can hear it breathing from a distance of 1 kilometer. The Afar people are never afraid. For them, this is not a hell, it is their home. In the Sichuan Mountains, a village is stuck to the rock at a height of 800 meters on a sheer cliff. This is called Atuli. Until the year 2016, the only way to get in or out was to climb 17 bamboo ladders tied to the rock. Children as young as 6 years old would climb these to go to school. Farmers would carry rice, school books, and children up the bare, jagged rocks. Many people even fell to their deaths, yet the villagers refused to leave. In 2016, China hammered 2,500 iron rungs into the cliffside. Journalists thought the story was over, but that wasn't the case. In 2020, the government offered the entire village a proposal to relocate to the valley. 84 families accepted, but a dozen people stayed behind, not out of stubbornness, but for the sake of their land. In the soil of Atuli, crops like Sichuan peppercorns, walnuts, and buckwheat grow with a quality that is unmatched. No one in the valley can replicate. Moving the families meant losing the gardens that had fed 3 generations. By 2025, only 4 or 5 of the 72 families from 2016 remain. The village has gradually emptied. The school children now sleep in a county dormitory 75 kilometers away and only climb the iron ladders twice a month to visit their grandparents. Many will never be able to teach their children how to climb a bamboo ladder because those ladders have disappeared, and this village is now on the verge of extinction. Here, above the clouds at the door, they come and rest. Eagles build their nests beneath the front terrace. To the outside world, Atuli is a symbol of hardship, but for those last 4 families who refuse to leave, the valley below is like a foreign land. Atuli is just the beginning. In the next chapter, there is a crater in the ground that has been burning for over 50 years, and humans are only now beginning to put it out. In the Karakum Desert of central Turkmenistan, a 70-meter wide crater glows orange in the darkness of the night. Locals call it the door to hell. It had been burning non-stop for over 50 years. Here's the part that most videos leave out. This crater is not entirely natural. In 1971, Soviet engineers drilling for gas accidentally caused the ground beneath their rig to collapse. To prevent the methane gas from poisoning the surrounding villages, they set it on fire, thinking the flames would burn out in a few weeks. They were wrong. The methane reserve beneath was geological, and even after half a century, it was still fueling the inferno. For years, every attempt to extinguish it failed. Then, in the year 2022, the president of Turkmenistan ordered a new approach, not to suppress the fire, but to cut off its fuel supply. Scientists drilled gas capture wells around the crater, allowing the methane to be extracted before it could reach the flames. By April 2024, officials announced that the fire had been brought under control. By 2025, it had shrunk to about 1/3 of its size. Where the entire crater once burned, only a few glowing patches remain. In 2013, Canadian explorer George Karunis, wearing a heat-resistant suit, became the first person to descend into the crater. At its bottom, where the temperature was 335 degrees Celsius, he collected soil and discovered that microorganisms were surviving even in that intense heat. A few kilometers away from here lies a ghost town named Darvaza, which was evacuated in 2004. Today, only Turkmen camel herders pass by, gazing at a ring of pipes that are slowly extinguishing the fire their grandparents called eternal. But while Darvaza is cooling down, another mountain is breathing something else entirely strange. A blue flame that remains invisible during the day and becomes deadly at night. On the eastern tip of Java, there is a volcano that glows not in orange or red, but in blue. The 2-kilometer-wide crater of Ijen contains the world's largest highly acidic lake, a blue-green pool with a pH level of 0.5, which is more corrosive than battery acid. At night, extremely hot sulfur gases escape from cracks in the ground. As soon as they come into contact with the air, they ignite, taking the form of 5-meter-high, lightning-like blue flames. It looks like a deity's welding torch and is a death sentence for anyone who lingers too long. Yet, every night, people venture inside. They are the salt and sulfur miners, most of whom live in the village of Lysen, nestled at the foot of the mountain. They leave their homes around 2 a.m., climb 3 kilometers in the dark, and descend into the crater with only a wet cloth tied over their mouths. A decent dress mask costs more than an entire month's wages for them. Using iron tools, they hack away at yellow slabs of solid sulfur from the fissures, while blue flames dance behind them. Each load weighs between 80 and 90 kilograms. They haul it out twice a day, a shift that breaks men while they are still in their 30s. The pay for carrying a single load is between $3 and $4. Veteran miners barely make it past 50. According to some studies, their average life expectancy is only 40 years. Their lungs decay and their teeth turn yellow due to the acid. Supeno is 35 years old. He has 2 children and has been doing this work since he was 23. Every night, 300 men climb the mountain with him. If you ask them why they keep coming back, their answer is very simple. They climb so that their children never have to do the same. Their children's school fees are the reason they cannot stop. This is the cruelest arithmetic on earth. The very beauty that leaves the rest of the world in awe is, with every breath, claiming their lives. In central Hunan, more than 3,000 sandstone pillars rise from the ground as if they were the ribs of a sleeping giant. Some of these are 200 meters high, while others are narrower than a city bus. In the morning, clouds drift between them. This is Zhangjiajie, which is nearly 380 million years older than any human eye. Here is the uncomfortable truth that most travel videos won't tell you. In 2002, China built a glass-walled elevator on the sheer cliff of one of these pillars. It is called the Bailong Elevator, or the 100 Dragons Skylift. It takes less than 2 minutes to ascend 326 meters. and by 2025, it has carried over 50 million passengers across a natural landscape that nature took 400 million years to sculpt. Environmental groups filed lawsuits, UNESCO issued warnings, but the elevator remained exactly as it was. Officials of Wulingyuan argue the opposite. After the elevator opened, dozens of hotels built on the cliff tops were removed. Now, travelers sleep at the base of the mountains and go up only to view them, ascending for the journey, descending to reside. The pillars. If you walk along the old stone steps built beneath the pillars, a second Zhangjiajie reveals itself. The Tujia and Miao tribes have been living in these mountains for centuries. Their wooden stilted houses cling to cliffs where no road can reach. Tigers once roamed here. Langurs still reside here. So what is Zhangjiajie really? A natural wonder older than the dinosaurs, with a glass box bolted onto one of its parts. A place where the impossible thing is not these pillars, but the idea that we ever thought we could make them better. On the Bolivian plateau, at an altitude of over 4,700 meters, a magnificent red mountain towers above the city of Potosí. Famous in history as Cerro Rico, the rich mountain, this place holds a profound and haunting history. For centuries, miners have navigated its vast tunnels in search of silver, zinc, and tin. The silver extracted from here once powered global economies, but this immense wealth came at a staggering human cost, involving countless local people working in extremely dangerous conditions, bearing heavy hardships. Even today, this mountain remains a busy hub of mining, reflecting deep socioeconomic challenges. Due to the increasing global push for clean energy, the demand for silver and zinc is continuously rising, which has led to a very rapid increase in the number of local laborers working here. By 2025, the number of miners working on Cerro Rico has surged from 12,000 to approximately 30,000. This rapid expansion has further intensified concerns regarding workplace safety, as entire communities stake their livelihoods entirely on this grueling industry. Inside these deep, lightless tunnels, miners work without modern electricity. To cope with the physical exhaustion at such extreme altitudes, they rely on traditional remedies and centuries-old cultural rituals. In this harsh and utterly isolated environment, seeking hope for safety, the miners regularly offer tributes to symbolic deities considered the protectors of the mine. The modern world's shift toward eco-friendliness is now reshaping this historical landscape of Potosí. Constant. Large-scale mining has altered the mountain's physical structure, causing its summit to visibly sink. It is a staggering reality. A city watching the very source of its historical wealth slowly collapse beneath its feet. About 400 kilometers off the coast of Yemen, in the Arabian Sea, lies an island that evolution seems to have forgotten. Socotra has been completely isolated from any major continent for over 7 million years. 1/3 of the plant species found here exist nowhere else on the entire planet. It is often called the place on Earth that least resembles our planet. Its most famous inhabitant is the dragonblood tree, which looks like a thorny umbrella, and from which a thick, dark red sap oozes. In ancient times, the Romans bought it for the price of gold. This sap became the pigment for Roman paints, the dye for royal garments, and 2,000 years later, the varnish used to enhance the luster of violins. More than 700 species of plants grow here, 307 of which are found only on this island. The desert rose is among the rocky outcrops, as if elephants were pretending to be plants. None of this feels fictional. It feels entirely real. Even today, 60,000 people live here, most of whom are fishermen and goat herders. Their language, Socotra, is one of the last surviving branches of the ancient South Arabian languages, considered even older than Classical Arabic. Since 2015, due to the civil war in Yemen, the island has been cut off from almost all commercial flights. The only regular link here is from the United Arab Emirates. The local hospital runs entirely on diesel, provided as aid. Cyclones in 2015 and 2018 wiped out entire forests on the western coast. Now, a new threat looms. By 2024, United Arab Emirates companies began planting non-native flora across the island and constructing a port, a military base, and even a resort. In a place where 98% of land snails and 40% of plants exist nowhere else on Earth, the introduction of just a single invasive species could completely disrupt a 7-million-year-old evolutionary cycle. Despite all the difficulties, the people living here still hold on to this unique biosphere and language that no one else possesses, and they have not abandoned this place. Despite all the hardships, Socotra remains a living, breathing home today. In the northern Rift Valley of Tanzania, there is a shallow lake whose color is as red as blood. Its shores are littered with the preserved, statue-like bodies of birds that once landed there and could never fly again. Flamingos, storks, and pigeons, covered in a crust of white minerals with their wings half open, remain in the position of their final flight, mid-flight. This is Lake Natron. Its water is so alkaline that it can scorch human skin, with a pH level between 9 and 10.5, nearly as dangerous as ammonia. Its surface temperature can reach up to 60 degrees Celsius. The volcanic rocks beneath it release sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. This is the same chemical compound that ancient Egyptians used to mummify the bodies of their kings.
जब एक एनिमल फंस जाता है तो ये उसे नहीं पचाता, ये इसे हमेशा के लिए संरक्षित करता है.
The Maasai villagers and BirdLife International launched a movement aptly named Our Lake, Our Life. In August 2025, Tanzania's Deputy Minister of Minerals rejected the mining license. It was a quiet victory, one that ensures that even today, 1.5 million flamingos have a safe place to be born. Pause here with me for a moment. Would you risk your own safety for the chance to stand on the edge of a lake that turns animals to stone? Or is this a place the world was never meant to see? Tell me. Let me know in the comments. I read all your comments. Most of Antarctica is buried under ice, but the McMurdo Dry Valleys are not. Spanning an area of 4,799 square kilometers of bare rock and frozen dust, these valleys receive even less precipitation than Chile's Atacama Desert. NASA uses this region to test equipment for the Martian surface because, in many ways, it already looks just like it. There are no plants here and no birds fly overhead. Winds blowing at 300 kilometers per hour scour the glaciers here, carving them into shapes resembling blue palaces. And then, from the Taylor Glacier, a crimson waterfall, as tall as a 5-story building, cascades down. It is known as Blood Falls. For nearly a century, no one could explain it. Was it algae or rust? In 2017, researchers discovered its true source, a lake buried beneath the ice, sealed off for nearly 2 million years. The water inside is so saline that it cannot freeze, and it is so rich in iron that when it finally comes into contact with the air, its color shifts to a deep, blood-like red. According to a 2025 analysis, at least 17 species of microorganisms were identified living in the darkness below. These are organisms that survive solely on iron and sulfur compounds, never on sunlight. They have been cut off from the sun since the time when mammoths roamed the earth. Walking on the ground of this valley, you will find another startling sight: the mummified bodies of seals and penguins, some of which are nearly 5,000 years old. They wandered inland, lost their way, and fell into an eternal sleep. The cold and arid conditions here. Air has perfectly preserved their bodies, hair, whiskers, and even eyelashes. No one lives here year-round. Every winter, a small team of 150 to 200 researchers stays at the McMurdo station during those dark months to monitor the area. For them, this crimson river of iron is not a thing of fear. It is a message from deep, ancient history that is still reaching us today. In Judge C.R. Magny's State Park in northern Minnesota, the Brule River splits into two. One part cascades down as a waterfall, while the other continues on to rejoin the main river. merges back, as is typical for every waterfall. But the other half, carrying an equal volume of water, simply vanishes into a large hole in the basalt rock. For more than a century, no one knew where this water actually went. Tourists poured colorful dyes into it. Researchers threw in ping pong balls, GPS trackers, and even wooden logs, but nothing ever emerged downstream. Locals even began to suggest that the devil himself was swallowing the river's water. In the autumn of 2016, hydrologists from the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources conducted a precise study of the water flow. The flow rate above the waterfall was 348 cubic meters per second, while about 100 feet downstream, it was measured at 3.42 cubic meters per second. There was only a marginal difference of 0.06, which could be attributed to standard machine margin of error. This meant that the water was not disappearing at all. It was simply seeping through the basalt rocks and quietly rejoining the river. So why did that colored dye never appear further downstream? That happened because the water within the potholes swirls with such intensity that it completely destroys the dye particles before they can ever emerge, and the mixture disperses so slowly that it becomes too faint for the human eye to detect. This mystery wasn't about some otherworldly place. It was simply the basalt rock's unique way of hiding an entire river in plain sight. No one lives inside the Devil's Kettle, but the place quietly reminds us that some of the Earth's most famous mysteries are not ghost stories at all. Rather, they are nature, as a part of nature's patience. Nature is not obligated to provide us with immediate, straightforward answers. Sometimes it does provide an answer, provided we are willing to wait for 150 years. In the heart of one of the Earth's oldest deserts lies a dry pan of white clay, surrounded by 300-meter-high red sand dunes. Right in the middle of this plain, the charred, black skeletons of trees still stand tall. These are a species of camel thorn acacia, and they died approximately 600 to 700 years ago. Here is the story that most videos don't tell you. These trees were not killed by fire, nor did a normal drought take their lives. A sudden flood around the year 1300 changed the course of the Sauchop River, permanently cutting off the water supply to this plain. Deprived of water, these trees withered away, but because there was no rain, the dead trees could never decay. Two things have kept them standing upright for 7 centuries. The air here is so dry that no fungus or bacteria can destroy the wood, and the soil has become as hard as concrete, which roots refuse to let go. They are too dry to rot and have been scorched by the sun so thoroughly that they can no longer burn. UNESCO added Deadvley to its World Heritage List in 2013, not because anything in this basin is alive, but because what has died here refuses to be completely erased. Today, the nearest settlement, Sesrim, is about 60 kilometers away. No one lives in Deadvley. Indeed, no one could. Daytime temperatures here exceed 45 degrees Celsius. This salt pan is blindingly brilliant. Here, you only find the footprints of a photographer who woke up before dawn to climb the 350-meter-high red sand dune known as Big Daddy, or perhaps the tracks of a lone oryx that wandered through here last week. Deadvley has not been destroyed. It has simply frozen in time. It is a forest that has been holding its breath for 7 centuries, waiting for a river that is never coming back. In Colombia, there exists a flat mountain range older than the Andes, the Serranía de la Macarena, where a unique river blossoms into 5 distinct colors during the short window between the rainy and dry seasons: red, yellow, green, blue, and black. From the sky, it looks as if someone has scattered colors across it. But these are not artificial pigments. The red color actually comes from a plant. This plant, called Macarenia clavigera, grows on the riverbed only when 3 conditions are met simultaneously. The water must be neither too deep nor too shallow. The sunlight must hit the riverbed at the perfect angle, and the temperature must remain constant. This opportunity usually occurs from September to November. This plant has never been successfully grown anywhere else in the world. If it were destroyed here, it would be wiped off the face of the earth entirely. This is the history that most travel channels leave out. Between 1960 and 2016, the Caño Cristales River was completely closed to the public. During Colombia's 52-year-long internal conflict, this entire region was under the control of FARC rebels. Tourists who attempted to visit were either turned away or mistreated. It was only after the peace agreement in 2016. The government, in collaboration with the environmental organization Cormacarina, gradually reopened the river. Now, only 200 tourists are permitted to visit per day. By 2023, over 16,000 people had visited in a single season, and approximately 80% of the revenue generated from tourism was reinvested into local conservation and community development projects. Guides from the nearby town of La Macarena, many of whom were formerly farmers and some even former combatants, now lead tourists in a single file along the riverbank. Here, there is no soap, no sunscreen, and touching the Macarena plant is strictly forbidden. The very generation that once witnessed the horrific days of war has now become the strongest shield for the protection of this beautiful river. On the western coast of Madagascar, there is a forest made entirely of extremely sharp limestone. In the Malagasy language, its name is Tsingy, which literally means the place where you cannot walk barefoot. This is not just a saying. The ground here is truly as sharp as a razor. Over the past 200 million years, monsoon rains and groundwater have carved this limestone from below, while tropical rainfall has eroded it from above. The result is a forest of stones that emerged as a unique labyrinth of stone towers, some reaching heights of up to 100 meters, with edges so sharp they can easily slice through trekking boots. Beneath these towers lies a web of caves and underground rivers stretching for several kilometers. There are only a few people on the entire planet who have ever mapped it, and yet life here persists. It is the home of the Deccan sifaka, a white and golden lemur that leaps between these jagged peaks. Sometimes it covers a distance of 8 meters in a single leap. Covers because its palms and soles are thick enough to prevent injury. In 2024, the IUCN classified this species as critically endangered, primarily due to indiscriminate deforestation around the park. The greatest irony is that this jagged plateau, which is far too dangerous for humans to traverse, has become the safest refuge for these creatures today. 42 species of mammals have been recorded here, 35 of which are found nowhere else in the world. The people of the Sakalava and Vazimba tribes, who have lived in this region for centuries, revere the Tsingy as sacred. The caves here are the burial grounds of their ancestors, and no stranger enters them alone. Even today, families in the villages near the park border offer honey and rum at the foot of these stone towers, a quiet prayer, seeking forgiveness for the mistake of anyone who has ever dared to ask for a path beyond these rocks. Spanning an area of 10,500 square kilometers, this flat expanse is considered the world's largest salt flat. During the rainy season, a very thin layer of water covers its surface, and then the horizon here completely vanishes. It feels as if clouds are floating beneath your feet. The mountains appear twice, reflected perfectly, and those walking on it look as though they are walking directly on the sky. This is Salar de Uyuni, located at an altitude of 3,600 meters above sea level in Bolivia. Beneath this flat expanse, there's an estimated 10 billion tons of salt. However, there is something else underneath it that is far more valuable, approximately 50% to 70% of the world's lithium reserves. This is the very metal that powers almost every phone, laptop, and electric car today. A standard EV battery requires approximately 8 kilograms of lithium. In January 2025, Bolivia's state-owned lithium company signed a major agreement worth $976 million with Russia's Rosatom to build a plant capable of extracting 14,000 tons of lithium per year, which, when operating at full capacity, would be enough for approximately 1.75 million electric vehicles. Following this, agreements were also made with China. In April 2025, a court in Potosi halted several of these agreements because local indigenous communities argued that they had never been consulted regarding these projects. Around the village of Colchani, laborers still gather white salt into cone-shaped piles by hand, wait for it to dry, and then load it into trucks with shuttles. Wages here are very low. The sun is incredibly harsh, and the air is so thin that if you move too quickly, you start to lose your breath. Yet, in the evening, when the sun hides behind the Andes Mountains and the sky turns a golden pink, there is no difference between a photograph taken here and an image of the universe. This mirror doesn't just reflect the sky, but it also speaks to the price we pay to keep our vehicles and devices charged. From the boiling craters of Ethiopia to the mirror-like salt flats of Bolivia, from cliffs where children once climbed on vines just to get to school, to lakes that turn animals into stone, our Earth hosts places that simply should not exist, yet here they are. In those silent corners where the heat is intense, the air is too thin, the water can scald, the rocks are sharp enough to cut, and the past never fades away. Those who call these harsh places home do not dream of escaping. They simply dream of rain. They teach us that fighting against adversity is not about making noise. It is a profound, quiet, and often invisible resilience. So, which of these places would you want to visit first? Or which would you never want to visit? Do let me know in the comments. I read every one of them. If this journey has transported you to a new world, please consider subscribing to the channel. Next week, we will travel to a Soviet ghost town that still stands in the desert, where 400 people suddenly vanished overnight. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next one.